Wholistic Vitality Energy Healing. www.holistic-vitality.com.
So my name is Taylor. This is my first experience with Reiki. I've done a little bit of some alternative healing methods before, and I've always been curious about Reiki. And definitely had a unique experience. You know, I was sort of conscious, and I was following you along through those first couple parts there. You know, going to the higher self, and then it was sort of like it's hard to put it into words, but it was sort of like I had these kind of different visions. There was somebody who I know very well who was all of a sudden there, who it's hard to explain it really exactly, you know, what the reason behind it was. I don't know.
And is this person still around in your life?
They are. It's somebody who my mom. It's my mom's boyfriend who she's kind of been having a lot of issues with, and they decided recently to end the relationship. So she's moving out of his house in Lyons.
Okay.
And it's been sort of an intense experience for her. Just because she sort of relies on him a lot, and they kind of have created this life together, and now he's sort of creating the space or saying that he doesn't want her to live there anymore, so she's kind of having a hard time. And maybe I had some feelings, you know, prior to the session, a little bit of anger towards him, or a little bit of frustration with him and sort of the way that he has chosen to go about some of this stuff. But it was like when I saw, it was like all of a sudden I saw him, he was kind of sitting to my left, he was kind of like sitting down, I think I was standing up, and he was there sort of looking down, and it was like I felt like, you know, there was no reason for me to hold anything against him anymore. You know, it was like I saw him, it was like a familiar face and a friendly face, and I was like, oh, that's Jim, and I'm putting these words on it, but it was like I kind of let go of anything that I had been holding against him. You know, I was like, I realized, hey, he's just another human being. He may have made some mistakes. I think at the end of the day, he does love my mom, but it's not like he wanted to hurt her or anything. And it was like I got all that very quickly. You know, it was like a very familiar face, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm okay with Jim now. And that happened very quickly. And then after that, I kind of disappeared for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure where I was. And it was like when I came back, and it wasn't what was the one before the root chakra?
Sacral?
The sacral. I remember that, but it was like as I kind of started coming back into that and becoming a little bit more aware of what was going on, it was like I felt like I had been gone for a long time. You know.
What about, so the sacral chakra would have dealt with forgiveness.
Right.
Do you remember any of that?
Yeah, I do. And the person I was, you know, envisioning was the person I told you about earlier, that I met in 2013.
Okay, yeah.
And so that was good. You know, it's like I've attempted to forgive her before, and I feel like I've made some progress with that. But I think there was something that you used kind of towards the end about, you know, you talked about the ideas of forgiveness and the concept of forgiveness, but then you said something about something being very clear and light. I can't remember the exact words or the adjectives that you used, but it sort of hit me in a different way. It kind of felt like I was finally done with it, you know.
Like had that closure that you may have never gotten.
Yeah. And you know, it's hard to quantify that, but that's something about that felt different than other times when I've tried to forgive
consciously.
Yeah.
And then
I remember the trash can definitely going in. I know that was the first
the third eye chakra.
And I kind of you know, visualized like a big black trash can. That was kind of the first thing that just came to mind. So I just kind of went with that, like, you know, a big black trash can that gets picked up by those trucks that come by and pick them up.
And how'd you feel doing that?
Definitely peaceful. It was like I was just standing outside, not necessarily my house, but it was sort of like a generic neighborhood, you know, and like pretty quiet street, like not a lot of stuff, like not a lot of traffic or like activity going on, and it just kind of felt very peaceful, you know, especially like you described the truck driving away, and it was nice, you know, just kind of let go.
Get rid of stuff.
As you started repeating some of that stuff about the needs and the nourishment, that's kind of started coming back to me a little bit, and I guess it reminded me of, you know, some really good memories of my mom.
Yeah.
You know, really just always having our best interests in mind, and really, you know, doing a lot for us as kids, and making sure that our needs were met and that we were safe, and really probably putting us, you know, me and my brother and my sister above her sometimes.
Right.
You know, I think that's kind of where I went there. You know, but I do remember parts of that, a little bit of the higher self. It was kind of like I was kind of getting this vision of like a version of me, kind of sort of like made of this white light.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, you know, the things I was getting, or the messages I was getting from that, it's almost like I already know. I don't know, it's like I kind of go about my day-to-day life, and I'm kind of in this routine, and sometimes I maybe know already the changes that I should make, or it's like my higher self knows these things already, and sometimes it's probably trying to get my attention, like, hey, like, you know, pay attention, and I tend to sometimes ignore it and put it off. So that was good, I think, to get that, and to be, I guess it was a reaffirmation of that. It's like sometimes I know that, and I don't necessarily always listen to it.
Awesome. Well, unless you have anything else you can think of.
Not right
You're
now.
good. Awesome. Perfect.
I'm a little bit dazed.
You're good. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.